I wanted to do one more example of putting together data for an empirical project. Let's say I'm interested in county level variation in COVID-19 vaccinations. So let me search for CDC vaccination data by county. Let's see what comes up. And so I see CDC COVID tracker reporting county level COVID-19 vaccination data. So let's click on that. And we can see this is a COVID-19 data tracker county view of key data, including vaccinations. So let's click on that. And all right, so it shows us cases, deaths, testing tab. Oh, clearly here's a nice visualization. Of course, we want the raw data behind that visualization. So let me click on this view historic vaccination data. It takes me to data.cdc. If I scroll through here, well, that actually looks promising. That here I have a date, I have county, I have some series complete 12 plus. Obviously, I'm going to have to read up on what each column really means, but it looks like I can get a percent of people 18 and up who are fully vaccinated in this data. There's a lot of different columns here. So let me actually download this data. So I'll say export CSV. Sure, we can do that. I'm going to download that. It looks like it's a pretty big data set. It has 1 million rows. I think the reason it has 1 million rows is because it has what is the vaccination status at the different dates. We'll probably just grab the latest date. And now that we have the data downloaded, we can open it in Excel. It actually looks like it's too big for Excel file, not loaded completely, but we'll say that's okay because we really only need the latest vaccination data from November 5th. So let's actually grab that latest data. Let's for now take all of these columns, even though we probably won't need them all. We will go down until November 5th ends, which is about 3,000 rows down because we have about 3,000 counties in the US. So let's stop here. All right, Otsego County is on the bottom. Let's take all of these columns. Let's copy that. Open up a new spreadsheet. Paste it. And so we have a somewhat simpler data, just 3,000 something counties. The latest vaccination data. We certainly don't need the date anymore since it does not vary. I think this is the number of weeks. We don't need that either, and probably don't need most of these. But look, even with this data alone, we could probably do something because we have a variable that tells us whether the county is metropolitan, meaning urban, such as Gwinnett County. I don't know, Schoharie. Schoharie? I think Schoharie is pretty rural. Oh, well, it says metro. Well, maybe not. Maybe there's Binghamton? No, I don't know what, Syracuse? I'm not sure what's in Schoharie County. Something, what else is in Metro County? Puerto Rico. I'm not sure. So we'll have to certainly investigate. Certainly if we find Schenectady County, that's probably a metropolitan county. Sure, let's do that. Schenectady County here. Oh yeah, here we are. And we are Metro County. Okay. So this is a good start. I mean, there are some missing values, but hopefully we can clean that up. And yeah, so even with this data alone, we could do an econometrics project after we clean it up and after we understand what each series is. So for example, we could test whether metropolitan counties are more likely to have higher vaccination rates, whether they have higher vaccination rates. How do we do that? Well, we could create a dummy variable for metro. So I could call it metro dummy, and that is equal to 1 if the value in cell Z2 equals metro, then make this 1, otherwise make it 0, hit enter. Okay, so this is not a metro county. Copy it down all the way to 3000. All the way, I won't do that here. I paste it here, and I have my dummy variable for metro. Right, and I can regress any of these on metro, and I have at least one regression. Obviously, I'd like you to have a few more variables. Perhaps one could see how the number of vaccinated people in different age groups, that's what it looks like, is related to vaccinated people in different age group. Of course, you would have to come up with a story of why that is an interesting question. To make this even more interesting, we would want to know perhaps more about the characteristics of these counties. So let's go back to our friend Google, and let's search for county level census data, and level, let's put level census data, and we see certainly the census itself gives us some data. Explore census data, we can look through that. If you want an easier data set to work with, let's click on this county level data set. This is from the US Department of Agriculture. It looks like we can get information on poverty, population, unemployment, median household income, education. Let's say I have a story about want to test a story about vaccination and education. So let's click on education. All right, it's giving us again. All right, this looks like a state level. It's giving us a visualization. I'm going to go back. Actually, I'm going to see download Excel. Let's see what's in that Excel file. Okay, so it takes us here. I see educational attainment for US states and counties. Let's download that, open it up. Okay, so it looks at different counties. I have, this is again from census, so it's pretty solid data source. Less than high school diploma, kind of would like to have percentages. Oh, this is in 1970. That's certainly interesting. Probably not what I want, but if I go down here, it's going to give me 2000. It's going to be all right, 2015, 2019, percentage of adults with bachelor degree, 32% for that first row, which is for the whole United States. It's about, that seems reasonable. In Alabama, it's a little bit lower, 25%. Even with this data alone, you could probably do a project. You could see, look, why did education go up more in some counties in the US than in others between, say, 1970 and 2000, 1980. So this is a workable data set. But we're going to take this a little further. We're going to try to see if we can line up this data set with that vaccination data. So let's make this a little simpler. Let's just delete everything except for that last column that's giving us I'm gonna have to enable editing. Let's delete everything. Let's see, where am I? Actually, I like this rural urban. Maybe there's it looks like could be a measure of how urban or rural the county is, but for now I'll keep it there and then delete everything else. Okay, so delete and delete again. All right, delete. Good. 32% for the US, 35% in Alabama, and so on. So I actually don't want these aggregate values for the whole United States or for all of Alabama. I want my data to be at the county level. So let's delete these two rows. And I'm going to have to go down all the way for all 50 states and delete whenever I have a new state. So that's going to take me a little bit, but not terrible, right? I have to do it 50 times because I have 50 states. Arkansas, sure, let's delete that row and so on. So I won't do that here, but you could see I have data by county sorted by this FIPS code. And fortunately, I think we saw the FIPS code before. We have it here in that vaccination data. So let's sort the CDC vaccination data by FIPS code. So I'll do data, sort, FIPS from smallest to largest. Sure, we'll say okay to that. And look at that. Now we have those Alabama counties all at the top. So let's create some space here, insert, and let's paste, I hope that's enough columns. Let's paste the education data right here. And down. I'm going to copy that from this sheet and paste it into my vaccination data. All right, that actually works. Look at that. I have my Attagua County in Alabama, Baldwin, Bibbs, Blount, so it all lines up. Here's Dallas County, and I'll need to check, all 3,000 rows. Maybe I'll need to shift some of that data. You could see here, here it's still aligned, Aleutian Islands. But here I'm going to have to shift after Aleutian Islands. It looks like the vaccination data breaks it down into Aleutian Islands, east and west. But I had an extra row in the education data, so I'm gonna have to take that and move it up a little bit so that everything is lined up. Okay. Yes, okay, I'll do that. So Anchorage. So clearly there's work, right, to be done. There's work to be done to line up these data sets, but look what we now have. Now we have a percentage of population that's vaccinated, and the education level. And we can ask, do our educated counties have a higher or lower vaccination rates? So that's the data. That's a really nice data for an empirical project.